the PPA is interesting because I do think that like there is that argument about being able to play the best player in the world.
Yeah.
And I get that, but I also see the MLP side of it that's like, I'll play the next 35. You know, I mean, Riley Newman and Tyson McGuffin bounced.
Oh yeah.
But what do you think about all the chatter, all the talk, possible defections from both sides? People felt like they signed under duress, and so they like were so rushed to sign that now they're having second thoughts and they're not sure what to do and they're talking to people. Because I was told by MLP that if anybody defects, they will never play an MLP again.
Okay, we have Jimmy Miller on the podcast. He is already a legend of the pickleball game. Nobody has seen him play pickleball, but somehow he's gotten into this game and he's just probably one of the most famous people in the sport now. So
Listen to you.
Thank you for gracing me with your presence. This is a big deal for me, for all of my fans or so.
Listen to you. I mean, I feel like you came on our pod. I got to return the favor.
Very nice of you. That's very. I have no notes. I've got nothing. I was told you Jimmy Miller on the podcast. You don't need a single note. You just let him go. You turn him on. Turn the end.
You turn it loose.
Oh yeah.
I mean, bro, what do you want? I mean, what do you want to talk about? I feel like it's kind of been a quiet week.
I know. There's nothing going on.
Yeah, I think it's tough. There's not much going on. You know.
Oh, I mean, I think the first thing we gotta obviously address is MLP, PPA. I can't, I've got a little bit of restrictions on what I can say, but not that I'm really thinking, not that I want to say anything too bad, but it's, I chose to sign with Major League Pickleball, as did, I think, 30 of the premier players. So you look at, there's 48 premier players, 30 of those signed with Major League Pickleball. So that's a big difference. I guess the first thing I'd ask you is, if there is like a clear winner right now, who do you think is winning that race?
I mean, it's kind of weird, dude. I think it's tough because I think that if you go with quantity and depth, clearly Major League Pickleball is cleaning up, right? I mean, like you said, 30 of the 48 Premier League players, 30 plus, have gone to Major League Pickleball. And then if you want to go with the top of the top, I mean, Ben and Annalie are tough to, those are two huge names. Sure. And so I think that it's interesting. I think that there's different strategies, right? I really feel like Major League Pickleball was like, hey, we want better competition. We want to go with quality players, but a little more maybe quantity. And, Connor Pardo he's been his ride or dies are Ben and Annalie. And so he was going to do whatever he could to keep them. So I would say right now, if I had to give a slight edge, it's got to be Major League Pickleball.
Yeah, me
just too. Off the sheer quantity.
I think so too. I mean, because the knock on the PPA before was, well, Ben and Annalie, they're going to triple crown every time. Maybe they're, they might lose a game. Ben might lose in singles once every blue moon to like a Yates Johnson or something. Yeah. But now even Yates Johnson is with MLP. Even
that's true.
I just can't imagine Ben or Annalie losing. And I think for me, the biggest thing is they got this gambling contract with FanDuel. It's going to be fun to watch and bet on, probably. You think. But now, like, how fun is it to really bet on Ben at minus 50,000?
Yeah, right. I mean, those odds are going to be wild, right?
Yeah, he'll be playing you in the semis. Tyler.
Yeah.
I don't know what the I don't know what the appeal is there. It's important that I say this. I always had a great time on the PPA tour. I know people were saying like there's been issues maybe with some integrity stuff, I guess, that I had heard. But like me personally, I've said this to you, I've said this to many people. I've had no issues. I've always had a great time with Connor, great time with Chris, and the fact that Connor Pardo actually, fun fact for those who don't know, he is a stud basketball player. He played basketball at a high level in high school. I was talking to his mom about this. Apparently he was like on Julius Randle in 8th grade. So I don't really know.
Really? He was that guy, huh? He's the double guy, huh?
That's what I was told. I mean, he looks like he likes a good double double. And
Oh gosh. Yep, that's getting cut.
shout out the PPA in that regard. But that's one thing. I think you're right. It's interesting how the PPA seems to have gone, Ben and Annalee, prioritize them, and then
Yeah.
all those, like I don't want to call them second tier players, but like behind them, it's
No.
huge.
Yeah.
Like MLP swept that level of talent.
Yeah. I mean, look, there's a clear cut, like there's arguments in every sport about who the best players are, who's the GOAT, right? Who's the top player. And unfortunately, I mean, fortunately, unfortunately, whatever you want to say, pickleball, there's not.
Yeah,
It's Ben number one, it's Annalie number one. And there's zero debate. And then if anybody debates that, the only person who would debate it is Lucy Kovalova because she loves Simone, right? And she would debate that, you know,
mhm.
but there's no debate that it's Ben and Annalie. And so he did get them. He got the clear cut. But yeah, I wouldn't call him second tier. I would just say that, Riley Newman, Tyson McGuffin, James Ignatowich, Anna Bright, Leah Jansen, like the depth of MLP, I think, in my opinion, is much, much better than the depth of PPA.
For sure. And I mean, I think about like, something that,
Fed, Pablo, right? Like,
oh yeah, I mean, it goes on and on. I think you
yeah,
just think about what's more fun to watch. And of course, like Ben and Annalie are better players, but if I had to choose something I wanted to watch and bet on, like, and there's going to be individual tournaments too. Like you might have me
yeah,
Tyson versus like Riley and Federico or something.
yeah,
Like,
exactly.
yeah, me and Anna versus, I don't know, Riley and Paris.
Yeah, and that's what made the MLP so fun was because it was different matchups and different pairings, right?
Mhm.
That's what people love to see, right? I mean, your team was Annalie, you, Leia, and Hayden,
Yeah,
right? Like, bro, that's exciting. Like, that's a fun team to watch. Even Ben's team with Ben, Etta, Megan, and Tyler. Like, you would never see that because it's always Ben and Annalie, always Ben and Colin.
for
So
sure.
it's fun to watch people, play with other people.
I
And
agree.
I just think, yeah, I think that makes it exciting.
It does. And I think it's going to be weird because there's the numbers that the players are getting, it's high. And
Oh, it
I
is
had
high.
already I mean I know firsthand, right? And
It's high.
I was already somebody who kind of questioned the sustainability of it. And we already know, like you go down the list of Fortune 500 companies, so many of those companies were operating in the red for so long.
Yeah,
Like
for
how long
sure.
do you think, you don't, I was talking to somebody that's like, well, Major League Pickleball, PPA, all the pickleball organizations, they're not going to make a profit. It's like, well, how necessary is it to make a profit in the first
Exactly.
5 years?
Yeah. Yeah.
So we'll see. But now it's going to be tougher to make a profit because
Yeah, for
the
sure.
amount of money
Yeah.
that they're giving. And I can't even,
Well, PPA is not even like they're claiming that their money that they're going to use is coming from Pickleball Central. It's not even money that's coming from that they've made running tournaments.
yeah,
Pickleball Inc. encompasses Pickleball Central, PPA, and they're essentially going to pull all of that. So yeah, now it gets wild because now you're robbing Peter to pay Paul to make sure that Julian Arnold gets his massive deal, right?
yeah, yeah. No, I agree. So how does it
Well,
feel?
you're not going to miss him, right? That's nice, isn't it, that he's gone?
What's funny about Julian? He's one of my favorite players to play against. And I would tell you the truth. I
Yeah.
love playing against him. And I mean, I've got a good record against him. I actually texted him. I was like, dude, come on. You're my favorite player to play against.
Huh.
Don't take this from me. Well, he's my
Yeah.
second favorite player.
Yeah. Who's your favorite? Should we talk about this?
That's unfortunate.
Like, who
Christian.
are you 12-0 against? And he ran to the PPA because he never wanted to see your face again.
That's something that has to be addressed. So
Yeah.
this is, guys, this represents the ending of a rivalry of sorts. Not really a rivalry. A
I mean,
rivalry.
rivalries require both sides to get a W once in a while.
Yeah, I wouldn't call it a rivalry. I'd call it more of like a beatdown.
Yeah. Like he's Vandy, you're Tennessee.
Exactly. And this is football, right?
Yes.
Uh,
Yeah.
It's just not even a question. And Christian, he was my favorite player to beat. And it's really unfortunate. When I saw that he signed with the PPA, and I spent 2 days trying to convince him to go to the MLP. I was like, come on, man. This is just, don't take this away from me.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
this. And I
Yeah.
had a lot of satisfaction out of beating Christian. I mean, I told you personally how it feels beating Christian is something I can't even describe. It's like
Yeah.
I've done it 12 times and I would have done it 12 more times, right? But unfortunately,
Yeah.
I'm not going to be able to play against him for another 3 years.
Do you think that weighed on his decision? 100%, right?
Surprised if it didn't, you know.
Yeah.
I've
I
seen
mean,
his
like that. Yeah.
it's not just that he's upset about losing. I think when I see him lose to me, there's a little extra, there's a couple extra tears, because he's known to
Yeah.
cry after his losses, and that's fine.
Yeah.
That's not,
Absolutely.
you can't blame a guy for crying, but I think the way he cries is a little soft. It's a little like, come on.
It is like, it's tough because it's like the reality is it's like, bro, you haven't actually ever won anything. So your expectations are too high for yourself. Like
Agreed.
lower your standards, higher your percentage.
And it's almost like, dude, you should be happy to be on the court with me. Like you paid the registration fee. You
Yeah.
got here. Okay.
Yeah.
And of course
Yeah.
you lost. But at least
Yeah.
appreciate it. Look me in the eye when you shake my hand and say, hey, thank you
Yeah.
for this.
Yes. Thank you. Can have another.
Yeah. So that's how I feel about Christian. Julian's not in that category. That's a whole. I mean, Julian's a good. I don't feel that way about Julian. He's a good.
Yeah. Yeah. But Christian will definitely be missed
It's dude. I've got. There's
in
some
different ways.
every match I've ever played against Christian that has been recorded. That's on YouTube video. I've watched it at least 10 times because
Yeah.
and I watch it alone at night. I love that, and
Yeah.
it does something
That's good.
all the
You
way.
ever you ever go split screen and you look at like the pictures of him showing his lats and then you're like, oh, I just smacked the guy with lats like that.
Dude, you don't know the half of it, Jimmy. I go, trust me, man. Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate it's over. I actually,
Yeah.
so I've got to find a new.
Who is that? Like, who's the new whipping boy for James Ignatowich?
Oh, man. You look at the guys who've signed MLP. There's a lot of options, a lot of good
Yeah.
options. Um,
Like, who's that guy that will literally like? Who's the guy that's gonna cry when he loses a dream breaker to you?
well, people usually beat me in Dream Breakers.
Okay, well that's true.
I
That's true.
gotta
You
think.
might be the guy that cries. That's true.
I don't know. It's tough. Everybody that played with that's in MLP, I'm kind of like, there's nobody I'm particularly enthused about beating. Maybe a
Yeah.
Greg could be fun.
Yeah, Greg Dow. The problem with Greg Dow though is you're not gonna be playing challenger level players.
Oh yeah, that's true. If
I mean, Greg's a great guy, but he's challenger for life.
he is, well, yeah, until he's out.
Yeah,
I'd say,
yeah. I think Greg's contract wasn't guaranteed. Like that wouldn't have been very smart by the MLP to guarantee it.
I mean, I think, yeah, I don't know. A lot of these contracts that are going out there, like I saw they signed, I don't even know. They're probably signing Thomas Shields tomorrow. It's
Yeah,
outrageous.
yeah. I mean, I saw PPA sign someone with a 4.8 duper.
Wow.
Now listen, we know dupers, yeah, but I think I need to put my name out there. I think I got to put my hat in the ring at this point.
I think there's a chance. I mean, I think
I
you've got
mean,
at
yeah.
least see. Ah, man,
Well, all these players in qualifiers, right? All these players that were playing qualifiers are now automatically getting put into main draws.
that's true.
So there's really like we're back to like in all sincerity, we're back to like nobody's getting tested till the quarters at the most.
No, and
Maybe the semis.
women's singles is going to start in the quarters.
I mean, women's singles really should Annalie should choose somebody to play Championship Sunday in an exhibition. Like pull out, like you literally put your name in a hat.
Well, Mary Brasha can play singles.
Yeah, but Mary Brasha, like playing on Championship Sunday, like come on.
Mary's a
I
great.
mean, I
Mary.
like Mary. She's great. And Mary's got a new podcast, Merry Go Round, which is aptly named. But I'm just saying, Championship Sunday, Mary Brasha, like I don't know. That's it's. I think Mary's a good player, but the depth of women's singles has definitely taken a hit.
I mean, it already wasn't deep, you know.
Yeah,
And you take
yeah,
away like 15 out of the top 20. I
yeah.
don't I don't know who even you go Annalie, Mary.
Catherine probably.
Oh, Catherine.
Catherine and Annalie are going to battle it out for literally. I mean, let me do my math, but if they do 30 tournaments a year, we're going to have 90 straight tournaments of Annalie and Catherine on Championship Sunday.
That doesn't sound fun, man, at all.
All right. And then we're going to have, I mean, we don't know what J Dub's doing yet.
Yeah.
But then we're going to literally have 90 straight tournaments of Ben and Colin beating up on Matt Wright and AJ Kohler. Like who? Jay DeVilliers? I
Jay,
don't know.
oh man, Jay, Julian, Deckel. That
Yeah.
would be wow. This is making me think maybe I should have stayed PPA.
I mean, you're guaranteed a silver.
That's true. Well, no, I mean men's, I don't know. But I think
No, there's good depth. Like there's good players over there. It's just a matter of there's not as many,
yeah,
right? Like the number of players. Like literally, I was thinking about the other day. Okay, like Lucy Kovalova, right? Lucy's a great player,
yeah.
but at one point it was Anna, assuming Annalie plays with Catherine, and then you had Elise and Callie play together. Lucy Kovalova was going to have to play with Rachel Retger, right? Like that's where we were.
Rachel's a good player, Jimmy.
She's great, but I'm just saying that's where we were,
Oh my,
right?
Rachel Record.
Rachel's signed with Selkirk, isn't she?
No, she's not. Selkirk. I mean, actually, I don't know. She could be.
I don't know if she was. That's getting cut.
No, I haven't seen Rachel play since like 2022.
And neither is she.
Yeah, no,
But my point is like there's a big drop off there. Now they added a couple people. They added Lauren Stratman. I think Tina Pisnik is an up and comer.
yeah,
They added her, but still there's just not a lot of depth there. Where you
yeah.
flip over to the MLP side and it's Anna, Leia, Tyra, Lacey Schneeman, Meg Dazon, Etta Wright. Like you can just keep going down the list,
Yeah.
and it's kind of Jesse Irvin allegedly, maybe not, who knows? But I mean, there's just way more depth. I mean, Irina's the MLP queen,
Oh yeah.
right? Like,
Yep.
yeah,
I think what's gonna be really interesting are the individual tournaments too.
yeah,
Because a lot of these, I mean, now there's no Ben and Anna Lee. That
yeah,
actually makes these individual tournaments, in my opinion, better than any PPA ever was.
for sure.
Look at
Yeah,
I mean, dude, you look at these tournaments, the tournaments that Ben and Anna Lee don't go to, those have been the most entertaining every time. I
yeah.
mean,
I've heard from a lot of people that they're kind of over, and I get it. Like the problem with Ben and Annalise, they're setting the standard as the GOAT. They're not like chasing a GOAT. Does that make sense? It's not like a golfer chasing Tiger Woods,
yeah,
right? Or Tiger Woods chasing Jack Nicklaus, where you're like, oh, can he catch him? They're
yeah,
kind of setting the standard. And so it's like, I think people are bored.
yeah,
I just think that they're a little bit, you're like, oh, Championship Sunday, Ben and Natalie, another Triple Crown, right? As where if they were, where it's when the next player comes along and they're chasing Annalie's 16 Triple Crowns in a row, then we'll be like, okay, can they get there? And then that makes it more intriguing. But because they're kind of setting that standard, you're like, I think people kind of get a little bit sick of it.
honestly, I mean, if I were Ben, I would be already pretty bored. But now
Yeah.
I've got to think because like being Ben is weird. Like it's like I used to be the best in my friend group. There was this video game called Word Hunt on the phone, and like on the
Oh, bro, I remember Word Hunt. Yeah.
dude, I was unstoppable. Like I couldn't lose. For whatever reason. I think it's because I might be on the spectrum. I don't know. It was like this talent that I had, and I was beating my friends,
Yeah.
just destroying them, and it just wasn't fun. I wanted them
Yeah.
to get better. I wish I had more competition, and like I spoke
Yeah.
to Dan a little bit about it, and I feel like he kind of feels the same way. It's like because if you're
Yeah.
Anna Lee, it's different. Like you're the best girl in the world, but there's still 20 or 25 guys that are better than you at this game, and
Yeah.
it's fun. Like you can maybe practice with guys and whatever it is. But if you're Ben, there's no one ever that has been better than you or even close really to your level at
Yeah.
the game. That's not fun. Like if J Dub and
No.
Nick leave, Ben is going to go from already assuming he seems a little bored. I don't know. I'm not going to say that, but seeming a
Yeah,
little bored to like he's not. I
yeah.
mean,
But even J Dub and Dylan are not beating them. Like that's the other thing. It's not like I know that maybe the rumors are that J Dub really wants to play against the best, right? And he really, I mean, and that's the competitor in him, right? And I get it, but it's not like J Dub and Dylan are even pushing him at this point. Like they might take a game off of him here or there, but Ben is never like, he dropped the Ben Newell, Philip Locklear one, right? He dropped a match in Vegas with Matt Wright once because he was distracted from other things. There's lots of there's little one offs here and there, but he's rarely getting pushed.
yeah, and that's never
And if he gets a championship Sunday, he's winning championship Sunday.
for sure. I mean,
Yeah.
that's probably his most fun day.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know, but I mean, I'm happy for Tyler, right? Your boy, he's gonna get he'll be on the.
Yeah. Tyler's been grinding for 8 years. Like, I'm excited for him. I'm happy that, after 8 years, he literally learned how to drill and now he's getting paid.
Dude,
Like, that's impressive.
I was playing rec with Tyler like right before that last tournament in Kansas City. He comes
Yeah.
out with this like backhand flick, and he looks at me. He's like,
Yeah.
"Bro, I've been drilling. Watch out."
Yeah.
He sped up
Yeah.
a backhand off the bounce, like
Yeah.
a guy who had two shots, an Ernie
Yeah.
and then a backhand dink, ugliest
Yeah.
backhand dink you've ever seen in your life. Now he's
Yeah.
got like he's just like an encyclopedia of shots.
Yeah. I know, bro. Like, he just needs to start trusting them in matches now.
Mm-hmm.
But like I mean, he's played his last two mixed matches. He ran into Coop and Zane, and he played with Glosman, and he played against Coop and Dylan Frazier, and he played with Rihanna Valdez.
Mm-hmm.
And he lost both of them 11-9 in the third. And if you watch Loong in those matches, dude, he was on fire. Like he was speeding, like literally Coop was like, this is not Tyler Loong.
Oh,
And
no.
at one point, Althoff is standing by me. And Althoff's like, the book on Tyler Loong is you just freaking dink his backhand to death. He's not going to do anything with it.
Yeah.
Right. And then you just speed him up, and all he's ever going to do is counter. Well, now Tyler, all of a sudden, they're dinking him, and he's attacking. And Althoff is like staring at me like, what's happening? Yeah. It's like, who is this guy? It was wild. And so, yeah, maybe it's a new Tyler Loong.
Wow. And dude, when he learns about warming up,
Just wait. Think about it. Warming up and then proper nutrition. Watch out.
dude, this guy might be the most talented player we've ever seen. And the
Yeah.
best part about it too is on the PPA tour next year, he'll have like a few matches just to kind of get his shots warmed up. First round, he's got like Ogden's dad, and like he's working on his back.
Yeah. Yeah. You can just warm that up, right? Like, it'll be nice to play Dirk Pardo in the first round.
It's great.
Right.
Oh
No,
man.
but like, yeah, I mean, the PPA is interesting because I do think that like there is that argument about being able to play the best player in the world.
Yeah.
And I get that, but I also see the MLP side of it that's like, I'll play the next 35. I mean, Riley Newman and Tyson McGuffin bounced.
Oh yeah.
But what do you think about all the chatter, all the talk, possible defections from both sides? People felt like they signed under duress, and so they like were so rushed to sign that now they're having second thoughts and they're not sure what to do, and they're talking to people. Because I was told by MLP that if anybody defects, they will never play an MLP again.
Wow.
Which is a bold statement.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Well,
If you break your contract, you're never playing an MLP again.
yeah, I think it's a tough time, right? Because you've got to set boundaries, and there's such a competition. I mean, it's definitely not a friendly competition. So I don't think MLP is wrong in saying that we're going to set this boundary, and if you choose to defect, if you break your contract, then that's it, because they're putting their money where their mouth is. They're putting a lot of money on the line, and if they don't want to, they're not like if I was paying this much, I'd be like, hey, if you defect my contract, that's it.
Coming after you. Yeah, I'm coming after you, and you're done, right?
Yeah,
I get that. But what's your thought about, like, you go play a tour match on MLP and you win it. So say you go win men's doubles. Is there an asterisk because there's no Ben? Like, this was Tyson's triple crown at TOC a little bit of an asterisk?
Of course there is. Yeah, I think there always is. If
Yeah.
there's no Ben, then it's the title's there.
Yeah.
But I think we all
Yeah.
know it's best. That's the
Yeah.
truth. I think if
Well, like, you're what? How old are you? 22? So say you go on this crazy run, right? Say you learn about warming up and drilling,
oh yeah,
and you go on just this massive run for the next 3 years. You're just slaying everybody, and James Ignatowich is the face of MLP, best player in the world. Like, you're pulling the Ben Johns,
yeah,
right?
that's my
Doesn't Ben start to think, oh shoot, like, maybe I should want to face James because James in the last 3 years is blown up, and maybe he's the one that feels like maybe he's missing out at this point.
that could be. That's what I hope happens. I mean,
Well, yeah, of course, but like, yeah,
yeah. And then the other thing too is that if I do that against like the MLP competition, there's an argument I'd be doing it against better competition than he is.
yeah, exactly.
There's that for sure. I think that'd be fun. I think that would kind of create the competition that's necessary too. I think right
Yeah,
now there's no dispute that Ben's the best, but MLP has the next, whatever it is, then there's
yeah,
always an asterisk. But if there is that one player, whoever it is, maybe it's Riley that dominates MLP to such a crazy degree that question comes back.
yeah, for
I think
sure.
that's great for
Yeah.
him.
Like, who is that? Like, I mean, what if like Gabe Tardio signs with MLP and then he just, he's 17, right?
Yeah,
He just blows up.
for
Yeah,
sure.
I mean, that those guys are out there. We don't know.
Yeah.
Those guys could be out there, and then Ben could be the one that's kind of like, well, maybe I'm not truly testing myself week in and week out.
Well, he's definitely not testing himself week in and week out. That's for sure. But we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
I got no more questions for you, man. I'm out of notes. I'm out of caffeine.
Good. Hey, we're good, but I appreciate you having me on. Yeah, dude, it's good. Are you like, you gotta be pumped, right? I mean,
Oh yeah, I'm going to the casino. I don't know say on this podcast. I got a little bit of a. I can't really. It's tough because like I'm probably gonna cut this out, but like everything I say, because we speak, everything
yeah,
I say, it's like I don't know if I could even speak
yeah,
on. I don't know what
yeah,
to say.
yeah, for sure. And that's the thing is, like, you don't know. The biggest thing though, dude, for real, is like these players have just got to like just band together, quit taking the text from both sides, quit taking the phone calls. You made your decision. Now let's just now roll and let's, make this thing big,
I know.
right? Because yeah, you signed a contract, own it, and let's go.
Yeah, I think
Right.
once you signed, you
Yeah.
chose to sign it, go play.
Yeah. Yeah. Go play. Go out. And like, I think the MLP needs to, and I've told them this, they need to like, they need to start telling you guys, okay, these are the events. This is what we're doing. This is the draft date or the free agency date. Like, and start having you guys feel like you have ownership of teams and things too.
For sure.
Like you're in on it, and you're going to be a first round pick, right? So you go first round, and now you can start helping build your team,
Yeah, that's what's
and
gonna.
then you're going, yeah, and then like those players are going to stop listening to PPA because now they're like, okay, I'm on a team, I'm ready.
Oh yeah,
And vice versa, right? The PPA players need to go find your partners for 2024 and do whatever it is they want to do.
yeah. That'll be
Lung and Alshon 2024.
Lugan on 2024. All
Yeah.
right. Thanks for
Okay,
coming.
bud.
I
All
appreciate it.
right. You bet.